Hey YouTube, it's Jake here from WSD Productions, and today I'm going to be showing you how to turn your Android phone, which I have here, into one of these. Now, for those of you that don't know what one of these is, it is an IP webcam, which means what I can do is I can view this as long as it's connected through the Ethernet port in the bottom and through the power. It means I can watch it anywhere on my home network, completely wirelessly. All it needs is that, which connects directly into your router, and power, which connects into your mains. Usually. So, let's get started.
Yeah, I see jokers on my left, beats upon my right. You find me in the middle with a picture different life. Before my name started trickling inside, but I'm still showing signs, all attributed to mine. In the pitch black, it's too cold, I'm all alone. Take me back to the roads, right to Rome, to get here and I'll hitch back. Get a cab to my mother's house, see my old man and have a six pack. Tell my brother I love him and give him something that was.
Right, let's get started. First thing you need to do is, if you find wherever you have Play Store or whatever you have it as, you need to open that. You need to find an app called IP Webcam. There'll be a link in the description to the Google Play version of it, except that's only on computer unless you're watching this on your phone, in which you will load up with it. Right, so here we have the app. It's just very simple, by someone. It's not very difficult, it's a very small file, quite good ratings. All you do is just click install, then once that installs, run it. And I'm sorry for the really bad camera quality, let's try zooming in. Right, so the first page that comes up is all of the settings. The very bottom option is for start server, and the rest of it is just personalising. There is an ad, but on the actual footage stream itself there isn't. There's no ads, there's no nothing. So first thing you need to do is set the picture resolution, and that goes right the way up to 1920, which is really useful because it means you can have high quality images, but it's not lag free. There is masses of lag, which I will show you when we switch to the computer. So me, I have it at 480p because it's quite good and quite quick. Photo resolution is for stills pictures, which is really useful because all you do is you click a button and it takes a picture, and you can store it on your computer wherever you like. Now this goes very high resolution. I don't know if you can read this, but what that's saying, there, if I can find it, right, that's saying 3264 by 2448. Now that is a very, very high resolution picture. That's much more than any camera will do. That's almost up to 4K, which is new technology that is literally coming in now, which is really useful. Then quality, just I keep on 50, although there it says 51. Orientation is what orientation it will be. So if you're looking at this, what orientation it will be on the laptop or whatever you're using. You can use a front-facing camera as well, which is only if your phone has it, which mine does, tiny one up there. And that it's quite, as it says, experimental. Use lower resolution when it's on and report issues, which is quite annoying. The next one we have here is the FPS limit, which limits I just leave it on 200 because it's also the maximum, and it just means it can keep going. And what we have here, this is quite useful. This is for focus because it will not keep all images in focus. With infinity, it just detects it's continuously focusing on anything that moves. So if you're moving the camera a lot, then this is really good. If you have manual, you just tap on the phone itself screen where you want it to focus on, and it will focus on it. And then everything else is like, you've got macro as well, which is quite useful, but I never used it. Right, and the next section we have here, if I show you, is called login and password. Now this is what you need to stop anyone that you don't want getting in. And with me, I have passwords already set, and you just type in the username and password you want. You only get one, so use it well. And what I have here is all these settings are what it changes. So you've got static pages and all these sticks. Now I was experimenting with this for a very long time, and if you want to copy this layout, then what it means is people can get on to it, they can view it, but they can't do anything else. They can't listen to it, they can't download pictures, they can't control the LED, which is a really cool feature. They can't do anything, it's just viewing. And to change the viewings, you can just tick them. If you want to tick them all, it means it will log in literally as soon as you type in the code. Then you've got the IP address, which leave at IPv4, and port 8080, which is just an audio mode. This is something I do not recommend, really. The lag on it is about 2 seconds, almost literally. There is really, really big lag. The image quality then doesn't line up with the sound quality. It really isn't very good at all. And the next thing you've got is notifications. So if you get a text message while it's coming through, then it won't show it. You can prevent it going to sleep, and you can stream on boot, which means as soon as you turn your phone on, then it'll start streaming. But you have to have no lock screen. You've got the FAQ, and then it's not quite a dramatic button at the bottom, but there's a button all the same, which is this one, which is the start server. So what we're going to do is start it. And what this does is you'll see a black screen on mine, but that is only because it's currently pointing at a table. And obviously you still have ads down here, but they won't show up anywhere on the actual stream. So what you do is, if you look down the bottom, I don't know if my camera will pick it up. Yep, it will. Brilliant. Not there, it won't. There we go. Right, so what we have here is the IP address of the phone, which is 192.168.1.80. Oh, 0.84, sorry. And then the number of connections. There's an unlimited number of connections, which is really useful, so anyone can connect to it at any time. So now what we're going to do is we'll leave that on the screen and jump over, if I can, to the laptop. Right, so on the laptop, all you do is, if you want to connect to it, go to whatever browser thing you're using. In the address bar, you type in http:// and then, well, you type in the IP address, which they always start 192.168. With my one, it's 1.84. Now you'll see it in my history because I was mucking about with it because I can. And then :8080. It's really not very difficult. Just type it in and hit enter. Then you'll be met with a page that looks identical. Well, you'll be met with this page. Now with all of these, half of them you really don't need. These are just if you're feeding them into other third-party programs, such as I have a few installed here: IP Camera Viewer, Security Monitor, iSpy, and there are a few other things. Except the one you need if you want to view it on your browser is this one, which is Use Java Browser plugin. So click it. It should take you to the next page. Now I'm having vulnerability problems with mine. Now if it just appears black, which, as you can see on my camera, is because it's blank. Which it's meant to be, because if it was showing something, then I've connected the wrong camera. Right, but now, if I move this, right, let's get rid of camera. But what you're now seeing is, just remember it's in portrait, live feed from a very powerful computer and directly from the device. And I can show you it's that because down here I have the laptop, and you can see this, which we call the infinite loop, which means it's just spreading through. As you can see, the lag it's not that bad. Sound quality really isn't very good though. It's just the phone, and there's a lot of lag. Colour in it the colour's not too bad, but either way they're not that good. But there is very little lag, especially 480p. And what you'll also see is, if I go back to the camera, is connections now says 1, because there is one and it's my laptop. And this is a really useful tool if you just particularly want to mess around. You can record things wirelessly, you can stick it in your pocket and see everything. And this is one thing that's really cool. For this, I'm just going to turn it around, because you'll be able to see this better. Right, and what you'll see on my screen is my handy cam. and what you've got is this button here which opens camera controls. Now, with the settings that I have for the logins, this is needed. You do need the login, but because I've got remember password, it doesn't come up. Now with this, what I can do, which you should see, is if I click turn on LED, well, there you go, there's the password thing come up. Just click OK, and as you can see there, the LED has turned on. Now there's no stats thing on here to say that the LED is on, so that's quite annoying. And then you just press LED off, and it turns off. And what you can do then, you can set autofocus, toggle the audio, and then this button here. What that button is, that takes the image resolution pictures. So all you do is just click it, opens the separate tab, and there is the stills picture, because if I move my hand in front, it's completely still. So all you do is, if you want to save it, you just right click and save image as. So let's go back to the stream, by close the tab, and there is in my hand. It's really easy software to use. There is nothing more really to it. Public news, we can go back. Then we've got extra links here, first browsers, you can view them on PlayStations if you particularly want, Wii's, if the browsers support it, which I'm not sure if they do, I haven't checked. Media players such as VLC, which is quite useful. I haven't got VLC, but I mean, you don't have to be in the stream. If you look, I can still turn on the LED without being in the stream. Then what you can do as well on the device, which is quite cool, is there is stuff there. You can't quite see it, but this little button here, it's really not very good. You can't read it on this camera, but it says actions. If you press it, you can change things like the focus, set it to running background, toggle the LED directly from the phone, fade, you show the IP, and disguise it, which just literally, just click OK, and sets the screen directly. In fact, in this case, it's actually loaded Google. You can just, okay, I've accidentally closed it. Right, and if your thing does fail, so like, if you accidentally close it, which will be quite annoying, then all you have to do is if you just hit F5 on your computer, then it comes straight back. Right, that's it for this tutorial. Comment, like, rate, subscribe, anything more. There will be links in the description for everything you need.
There must be some kind of way out of here. Said the Joker to the thief. Yeah. There's too much confusion.